us now to discuss this further is Republican California State Senator Tony Strickland. Let's dive into what Mills was talking about there and what is happening in Chicago. You got Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker, even Oregon Governor Tina Kotek appearing on your state's governor's Gavin Newsom's podcast, discussing, what they think is happening here, where this could all be headed. Just listen.
He believes in militarizing our cities. He's been talking about taking over Chicago with the military for more than a decade, like before he was president the first time. Yeah. So this is what I think he's got in mind. Posting people at polling places in 2026 wouldn't surprise me at all to deter people from voting. It would scare a lot of people I know from the polling places. But why would he do it? Again, scare them away. Claim that he's protecting the voting, and then, of course, declare fraud wherever it is that he believes he isn't winning.
In the last 2 hours, I've played that soundbite to two other people. Their response has been that this has been an exaggeration. It's a bit of fear-mongering. Do you think that's the case, or do you think the Trump administration is laying some type of groundwork here for something like this?
Well, that's just hyperbole. At the end of the day, the most essential role of government is public safety. And 2 points. One, these governors and city mayors should be welcoming the Trump administration to come in and clean up their cities and making people more safe. At the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's about making sure the citizens are safe. And the most essential role of government is public safety. My second point is, when we talk about, ICE coming in and chaos, well, we didn't have chaos when we had previous administrations deport, and many of them deported a lot more folks than Donald Trump. But the difference is these governors and these cities now have sanctuary city laws, sanctuary state laws, and they're not cooperating with federal authorities. If they just cooperate with federal authorities, we wouldn't have chaos, and we'd be able to pinpoint and make sure that the people who are not supposed to be in this country, who are committing crime, are now going back to the country where they deserve to be. And it keeps our cities and states more safe. So I would call on the governor of Illinois. I would call the governor of Oregon. And I've called on Gavin Newsom. I've actually thanked President Trump in a letter because I, again, think the most essential role of government is public safety. And these governors and city mayors should be welcoming the president to come in and make sure that we're safe in all our communities across this country.
While people I've spoken to have said, it is hyperbole in their opinion, and I kind of hear you saying the same here, I want to point your attention to what the American people are saying, because a recent poll by Reuters and Ipsos shows that 58% of Americans believe the president should only deploy troops to areas with external threats. Is there any concern that the president is maybe overusing his power here, and that this could backfire in terms of perspective from the American people?
No, I actually think when you're one of those families that have a family member that lost their loved one in a crime, and crime is rampant. And when we talk about Chicago, the crime is rampant. It's rampant around the country in a lot of these inner cities. I think we should do whatever we can to make sure that people are safe.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.